All right, everybody, it's 2 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to go ahead and get the show on the road here to make sure we honor everyone's time. But to everybody that's on the call, welcome. I hope you're having a great day today. Like I said a minute ago, my name is Philip Lamar, and I am one of the marketing directors here with ACMG. And like I said, we're excited about this presentation. I think you're going to get a lot out of it. I think it's going to be very valuable for you. Before we do that, I want to introduce my partner, the founder and owner of ACMG's on the call with us, Rob Swander. Thanks for being with us, Rob. And I want to talk a little bit about ACMG for those that aren't familiar. ACMG, we're proud to be one of the biggest FMOs in the country. We work with thousands and thousands of agents across all 50 states. And really, everyone, our whole goal, our mission is very simple as an FMO, and that's to serve you. Really, that's our main goal, is how can we help build your business? How can we help you take care of your clients? And we do that in many ways, everything from top schedules for product, for the best carriers in the business, the best platforms, everything you can think of. We always offer the latest and greatest, and we're doing exactly that today. I don't know if you've heard, Phil will tell you a little bit more about it, but Allstate has become a super carrier, offering everything from home, auto, all the way to health now. And you may have known it as National General. It's now Allstate. And so I think you're going to really like what you're going to hear today. Allstate has partnered and really taken over National General as far as the brand name. So you now have that big brand of Allstate backing you and your business. And it's the awesome products that you've always liked from National General, but now it has that extra boost, that extra sauce, if you will, from Allstate. So Phil's going to tell you a little bit more about it. So Phil, go ahead and take it away, my friend.
All right. Let me just let me know. You can see my screen now?
Yes, sir. We can see your screen. Looks great.
All right. Let me pull up the presentation. Okay. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. I wanted to thank Rob and Phil at ACMG for setting this up. I really appreciate you folks. The one thing that I can tell you from personal experience is it is very easy to work with ACMG, and they're very nice. They let me host these webinars for you folks, and wow, I can't believe how many people are on this call today. So thanks guys, appreciate it. And so off we go here. So we're all here for the right reasons. We're going to be talking about our short-term medical product today. And as Phil mentioned, the takeover of Allstate has happened. So our division is now called Allstate Health Solutions. This is my team. My team has many, many years of experience in the health insurance space. And I hope that we would be good partners for you folks and provide good support to your marketing efforts. So why would anybody want to consider short-term medical? So what you're looking at here, some of these are modern day uses for short-term, which is for people who don't like their non-subsidized ACA rate. And then towards the bottom, there's some reasons that traditional reasons that people consider short-term medical, whether they're between jobs, recent college grad, or they're waiting for their benefits to kick in on a group plan. And of course, as always, it's always a decent bridge to bridge the gap to Medicare, depending on the health situation of the customer. So for those of you who are brand new to short-term medical, I just want to go over this quickly. A best fit customer is going to raise their hand. They're going to say, hey, I hardly ever use my health insurance and I'm paying too much. And so that when you hear that from a customer, you know, that's a good start. People who don't get a subsidy, people who want a more broad network than what most ACA individual plans offer. Not a good fit customers are on the right. Not a good fit customer is going to have significant ongoing conditions. If you're not aware, short-term medical covers a lot of things, but it never covers pre-existing conditions. So that's the difference between a good fit. So really the best way to break it down, if you're new to short-term medical, just know only about 50% of the people you run into are going to be a good fit. So all of our plans cover office visits. All of our plans cover unlimited urgent care visits. We have prescription drug options for folks, flexible coverage periods, and next day effective dates. So let's take a look at the plan designs. I'm going to be running some quotes or a quote when we're done. And so some of this I think will make more sense at that time. We break our product for short-term medical into 3 buckets, with the first bucket being what we call our Copay Enhanced plans. And the Copay Enhanced plans, if you look on the right-hand side of your screen, they have a $5 million maximum. So that's a pretty rich maximum for people that would be nervous to have one that's less than that. And in most states, we offer a flat $6,000 or $8,000 deductible with 100% coinsurance. So those are the copay plans. The copay plans also, obviously, they offer copays is $40 primary, $60 specialist. Those visits do have a limit based on how long of coverage the customer is buying. The copay also provides a real $10 generic drug card. The way the drug card works, if your customer is picking up a drug that would normally cost $50, they're only going to pay $10 to fill the drug, and it's that $50 that credits towards the $3,000 maximum that you're looking at in the middle of your screen. One important note on the $10 generic drug part: if you have a customer who comes to us with, let's say, hypertension and possibly cholesterol medications, that's always going to be excluded for pre-existing condition on the medical end of things. But if your customer purchased this Copay Enhanced option, we will actually cover pre-existing conditions on the drug part only, so that if you were to bring a customer in the door who's taking a generic hypertension and a generic cholesterol medication, they would enjoy $10 copays for those drugs, even though their medical conditions are excluded. And there's only one caveat with that, is in order for the medication to be covered, the condition has to be a covered medical charge under the plan. So for example, if a customer is taking a mental nervous drug, mental nervous is excluded under our plan. And in that case, they would not enjoy the $10 generic copay. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Our second bucket of product we call Enhanced. The Enhanced plan is our most popular plan option. The Enhanced plans are characterized by the $1 million maximum that you can see here on the right-hand side of your screen. And the lowest deductible is $2,500, highest deductible is $25,000. We have varying degrees of coinsurance. We still offer a pretty low deductible and 100% coverage, so you can still buy a $2,500 benefit, a $2,500 deductible with 100% coverage thereafter, or you could even do a $5,000 deductible 100% plan. I like the 100% plans because I don't have to explain coinsurance to the customer. If the customer is looking to save money, underneath of that, that they could certainly look at a 50-50 or an 80-20 coinsurance. It's important to note that the 80-20 and the 50-50 coinsurance both have the same out-of-pocket. So I would say don't be afraid of 50% coinsurance if you're looking to reduce the rate for your customer. We have a third bucket of product called Essentials. I am not a fan of Essentials. I don't think you will be either. I'm only showing this to save you time and trouble later. The Essentials plan has a $250,000 maximum, as you can see here on the right-hand side of your screen. It also has a $15,000 limit on outpatient services. So there ain't no way Phil Mishler's going to move somebody from an Affordable Care Act plan and put them on a short-term medical with a $250,000 maximum. So just keep in mind, the smartest money is this Enhanced plan here, and just forget about this one called Essentials and you'll be better off. All right, in most states, we offer a guarantee issue short term, which is pretty rare. I'm not aware of any other quality insurance company that offers a guarantee issue short-term medical. It's important to note on the guarantee issue plan, even though it's guarantee issue, meaning we do not require health questions in order to get the plan, it still doesn't cover pre-existing conditions. Now, you just heard me beat up our other plan with a $250,000 maximum. This one only has 100,000. As you'd be asking yourself as you're sitting in your chair, is Phil Mishler crazy? No, Phil Mishler isn't crazy. So if you have a customer that wakes up this coming July and they get out of bed and they realize they need health insurance and they haven't had a life event that would qualify them for an ACA plan, they have very few choices. So even though it's only 100,000 maximum, it's 1,000% better than not having any insurance at all. So hopefully that makes sense to you. All right. And all of our plans have deductible and co-insurance. In some cases, the co-insurance is 100%. The family deductible is capped at 3 deductibles per family. So if you have a 4 or 5 or 6 person family, once they limit out on the 3, no other members of the household have to satisfy a deductible. All right. All of our plans cover doctor office visits. If you buy the copay plan, you get the copays. If you don't, that visit credits towards your deductible and your coinsurance. Most of our work is done with the Aetna Open Choice PPO network. And if you're going in, just to give you an idea, because sometimes customers are going to ask, what's my responsibility at the doctor's office if I don't buy the copay plan? So I can tell you with reasonable certainty that if you're at a non-specialist, your doctor office visit is going to be around $70. We have unlimited urgent care visits at $50. So you could go every hour of the day if your customer wanted to. If they're getting something, the $50 is to cover walking in the door and being diagnosed. If your customer is getting expensive lab work, x-rays, MRIs, those type of things, we waive the deductible, but for those expensive treatments, they go towards the plan coinsurance. So another reason to consider 100% coinsurance on our short-term plan, because if you walk into the urgent care with a plan from us with 100% coinsurance, everything they do to your customer is covered at that $50 office visit. So hopefully that makes sense. If you go to the emergency room and are not admitted, there's a $250 access fee that's on top of your customer's deductible and coinsurance. And we do cover diagnostic x-ray and lab work. We cover inpatient hospitalization. We cover outpatient services, as you can see here, child immunizations and adult screenings. I mentioned Aetna before. So Aetna is our primary network. We do offer Cigna. Cigna, it seems to be popular in some of our western states in the United States, but for the most part, here on the East Coast in the center of the country, we like to use Aetna. This network is turned on nationally for service. This is the strongest part of our program. If you have a customer and God forbid, they need to go to Sloan Kettering, Johns Hopkins, Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, MD Anderson in Texas, all those facilities are in network, and your customers will have a hard time finding doctors that don't accept the Aetna Open Choice Network. And don't take my word for it. This is the web address right here. You can poke it in and you can judge for yourself. Okay. So we offer coverage. We can lock your customer in for up to 3 years, and your customer can know what their monthly payment's going to be all 3 years at the time they apply. So it provides a great level of certainty. There's no ACA plan in the land that can tell you, your customer, what the rate's going to be 2 years from now. We can. So we have different types of lock-in type plans. So this first one on the left, we call these plans renewable plans. And I'm going to show you some details on them when I'm in the quoting software. And with a renewable plan, the customer can lock in up to 3 years. In the middle, we have these plans called consecutive plans. So consecutive plans can last up to 2 years. We pay full commission for consecutive plans. We pay what's called heaped commission for renewable plans. So heaped commission the way it works is we pay you a few percentage points more in the first year of coverage than what you would normally get. And in years 2 and or years 3, we pay about half of the commission that we'd normally pay you on a plan that lasts less than 3 years. I can't get into the percentage because we may have people on different commission levels on the line, but bottom line is if you stay with consecutive, it's full commission. If you do the renewable, it's what we consider to be heaped commission. But to be frank and honest with you, if Phil Mishler is the agent and I've got to bridge a customer to Medicare and they need 3 years worth of coverage, I'm going to put them on the 3-year plan, because in a renewable plan situation, the monthly rate is exactly the same for all months of that 3-year period. And Phil Mishler isn't necessarily concerned about heap commissions. I'm trying to take care of the customer. So I will show you this when we get into the software. It is important to note that the deductible and coinsurance do reset between policy periods. And it is true, if your customer is buying a multi-year policy, they're buying them all at the same time. So the pre-X look back is in the 12-month lead up immediately prior to the effective date. But if your customer's in a multi-year plan, because they bought them all at the same time, the pre-X actually drops off after the first 12-month period. So for example, I'll just use myself as an example. I have psoriasis, it's that skin condition. And if I bought a 3-year policy in the first year, my psoriasis will be excluded. But in years 2 and or years 3, I could actually pick up some benefits, assuming whatever I'm getting done is a covered charge for the psoriasis. So hopefully that makes sense to you. All right. In many states, we force your customer to join what we call our life association in order to get our short-term medical plan. Sorry, I'm going to dry mouth. The 3 most important benefits of the membership comes with a whole bunch of benefits. The 3 that are most worth mentioning is this is where your customer picks up a telemedicine benefit that's free to use. It's not just free for the member, but it's also free for their family, even if the family isn't covered under our plan. We also offer Active and Fit, as you can see here in the lower left, that gives your customer access to many name brand fitness centers for a enrollment fee, a monthly fee of only $25. And then the third benefit, which I don't think is listed here, but I'll just tell you about it. This is where the customer picks up their discount prescription drug card that works somewhat like GoodRx, where they get discounts on prescriptions, regardless of whether it's pre-existing or not. Okay, so some states won't allow a 3-year policy, or here in the case of Idaho, they'll only allow a 6-month policy. So we've broken the country in half. I'll leave this up for a couple of seconds here, but as you can see, Aetna is available in all of these states. Cigna is available in some. Most states have a 12-month minimum, or a 12-month policy duration, and then you can see as you go all the way to the right, some states have both consecutive and renewable. And then over here on the extreme right, there are some weird state limits, mostly in the mid and far west, with regard to how many policies your customer can buy, how long that policy could be. And some states actually require a gap in coverage before your customers can buy another policy. All right, here's the second half of the country. All right, well, hopefully you're fast readers, because we're moving on. All right, so we're one of the few carriers that offers child-only policies for our short-term medical. So as long as a child is over 60 days of age, they're eligible to be on the plan just by themselves. And conversely, if they're coming on board with parents, they do have to be over 60 days old to be eligible to be covered as a dependent. And just like an Affordable Care Act plan, we'll cover the children through age 25 or to age 26, whichever way you want to look at it. We do ask 3 or 4 health history questions. We don't have a height weight chart or a build chart, but as you can see here, it's pretty simple to remember. We'll take males who are under 300 pounds and we will take females who are under 250. If they are outside of that realm, they'd still be eligible for our guarantee issue option, assuming that it's available in the state where they reside. Okay, so we have one really large health question. It's going to knock out folks who are pregnant or an expectant father. It won't take anybody who's had, and this is last 5 years, won't take anyone with AIDS or HIV. And then towards the bottom here, you can see we're not going to take anybody who's been told they need surgery and they haven't gotten it done yet. Yeah, we just can't do that. There's not enough pricing in the product to be able to afford to do that. So these 3 groups where your customer have to check yes to this, they wouldn't be eligible. There's one really large question that would knock out all the conditions that you see here in the last 5 years. The biggest ones here that we run into the most would be cancer, stroke, heart. Some of the lesser known ones would be here on the right, neck or back disorder or joint replacement. We won't take any kind of diabetes. So it doesn't matter that it's pre-diabetes, it's gestational. If there's diabetes in the diagnosis, we just can't take them. So, and these are instant issue policies. So as soon as your customer checks no to these health questions, we're issuing that policy. Okay, so we'll have a little bit more information and then we're going to look at some rates. All right, so we have preferred and standard rates. And I'm going to go through this quickly because this, I think, will make a lot more sense when we're looking at quoting. Let's see here. So to be eligible for preferred, the customers had to have any type of health insurance 9 out of the last 12 months. It's just something they check yes to. We don't actually ask for proof. No nicotine or tobacco last 12 months, no DUI or moving violation, more than 1 moving violation last 2 years, can't own or lease a motorcycle, and cannot be taking blood pressure, cholesterol, anxiety, or depression meds. And then the preferred has a separate bill chart. And as you folks can read here, there's a weight limit for female and a separate one for male. For preferred, the only folks who can be preferred are the primary applicants. Okay, so these are some general exclusions for short-term medical. If you're new to short-term medical, I'll just spend 1 minute here and help you understand this. If you're new, short-term medical is like a rental car. It's going to get your customer from point A to point B. It never covers, well, it almost never covers pre-existing conditions unless you buy a multi-year policy. But what it is going to cover is going to cover accidents, sickness, injuries, things that occur while you're on the plan. It's a separate set of exclusions. It doesn't line up really well with Affordable Care Act type exclusions. These plans can save the average customer who's applying just by themselves about $3,000 a year. So the reason that somebody would want to consider short-term medical, number one, they wouldn't be eligible for a full subsidy, or maybe they only get a partial subsidy. They'd like to save $3,000. They'd love to plug into a nationwide network that's got all the centers of excellence that anyone would ever be looking for, but they must understand that it's not an ACA plan. Okay, I'm going to get off my soapbox. All right, so payment and enrollment. There's 2 ways to pay. It's electronic funds transfer from a bank account or a credit card. We take every credit card except for American Express. The initial payment, if you don't make a change during the application, we take the initial payment 2 seconds after you hit the submit button. But You can also push out that first draft date so that your customer doesn't have to double pay. They don't have to pay their current health insurance and prepay for the short-term medical if you're pushing the effective date out. So just note that we'll take the payment right away, or they can push it out up to 30 days. Whatever day they pick has to be before the insurance takes effect. Okay, so we have a website, allstatehealth.com, and that's where agents and brokers can go to get marketing materials, brochures. Existing customers can come here and download a claim form for any of our products. So you can see here, so if you click agents and brokers, you have access to marketing materials and links to quoting. And then for existing customers, like I said, they have access to claim forms. They can look up providers. So the links to the providers are here on the site. And then we have a member portal, which is mentioned right here in the middle of my screen, myallstatehealthsolutions.com. That's where your customer can register, print out a temporary ID card, assuming they bought a product from us that they get an ID card for. They can look at their claims at that website, and they can look at their policy documents. So it's two pretty helpful sites. Oh, here's another screen. So my Allstate Health Solutions is for existing customers to help interact with the company. Okay, and this is important. We sell a whole lot of supplemental products. If you're unfamiliar with supplemental products, this is the mechanism that allows people to actually use their health insurance. We're in an era now where out-of-pockets have grown quite large, and some people's plan to cover their out-of-pocket is as silly as, gee, I hope I don't have to use my health insurance. Well, that's a terrible plan. So tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern, I'll be hosting another one of these webinars specific to these supplemental benefits. So if you haven't been in the habit of talking about supplemental products with your customers, I'm going to actually give you conversation starters, questions, statements, easy pathways to initiate a conversation with your customer about these products. So I'll get off the soapbox for today, but please, if you have time, join me tomorrow and we'll talk about how you can double your commissions by promoting these products, how to start the conversation, and what the products actually are, right? I mean, when you look at this page, there's a lot of acronyms here. So you'll learn the mysterious meanings of AME, CHS, and whatever an SH rider is. Okay. All right. So just to recap, super strong national network, coverage up to 3 years. We do child-only policies, and there's no other quality carrier that I know of that'll do a child-only policy. Unlimited urgent care visits and multiple options to access care from a doctor. This is a disclaimer that they make me give to you folks. It's pretty much what I told you earlier. A short-term medical and an ACA plan, they don't really line up well with regard to covered and non-covered charges. But for the average person, let you plug into a great network and save your customer $3,000. You folks are insurance agents. If you could save somebody $3,000, I'm sure there's some other need in their life that you could help them spend the $3,000 on, and you'll both be happy. All right, so let me get out of this. Uh-oh. Okay, so let me see if I can clean this up here. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so this is our quoting website. I like to start quotes right here in the zip code box. I'll be running an example today in the state of Florida. So all you really need to do is slap the zip code in this box and click go. All right, this is what I would call our demographic screen. If you are doing a child-only policy, you would actually click this little checkbox, and it would set all this up for a child only. But for today's purposes, I'm just going to make it a regular person, not a child. Okay. And you'll see this question here. It says prior medical coverage. That's what I was getting at earlier. That's where we'll, even if they don't qualify for preferred, we'll knock a few dollars off the rate if they can testify, or they can just check yes to this question that yes, I've had any type of health insurance in the 9 out of the last 12 months. We don't care what it is. If the customer thought they had health insurance, check this box, yes. Almost anything would count. A religious sharing plan, an ACA plan, somebody else's short term. Okay, I think you get the point. And then down here is where you pick the effective date. So I can pick as soon as tomorrow, or I can go out, because it's open enrollment, we let you folks go all the way out 90 days into the future. So right this second, if you wanted to sign somebody up for January 1st, you could do that right now. There is one important note. If you pick a next day effective date, there is a 7-day wait for sickness benefits to kick in. Okay, so I'm covered for everything else if I do next day effective date, but sickness, I've got to wait 7 days until the sickness benefit kicks in. Conversely, if I pick an effective date that's more than 8 days into the future, like I was to pick November 10th, as long as the future effective date is more than 8 days into the future, there is no wait for sickness. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Another important point on this screen, and it's what you don't see on the screen, we do not require Social Security number for any of our products. So if your customer is a foreigner, they're a foreign student, all those folks are eligible. There is a question on the application that says, are you a US citizen? It doesn't matter which way your customer answers that question, they're eligible. All right, so I'm gonna click show plans. As you can see, it says loading. This is the part that always makes me nervous because it always seems like it takes way too long in a live environment to load. Okay, now I'm getting nervous. There we go. Okay, so we have this, what we call our package page, okay? And if you look, and some smart aleck put in here, what everybody buys package. All right, great. So let's just look at what's in here. So this is our short-term medical plan. It's a $5,000 deductible, 100% plan. It has an accident rider. The accident rider is $5,000 per accident, less a $250 deductible. This plan also gives a $5,000 benefit if the customer is diagnosed with cancer, heart, or stroke. And it gives the customer another $5,000 once per year if they're sick and hospitalized. And you're going to get all that for $14 a month. And then here at the bottom, this is our no waiting period dental plan. It's our richest dental plan. It's only $40 a month, which is pretty good for a no wait dental. The network on this dental is Aetna Dental PPO. So the reason I'm spending some time on this is simply, this is a screen that you can set up by yourself if you click customize, and you can put your own package together. You know, maybe you like a different deductible and co-insurance combo. So click customize, do whatever you want. For today, I'm just going to click see all plans. All right. So you can see here at the top that there's a tab that turns blue when you hover over it. So the default tab is short-term medical. So it'll always bring you in here. And as I begin to scroll down, you'll see the plans and the pricing for the short-term medical. So here on the left-hand side is going to be the plan name. So this one in particular is it's a $2,500 deductible, 50/50 coinsurance. If I needed a brochure, I click right here where it says plan brochure. And then if I jump all the way over here to the right-hand side, you can see two different rates. There's a preferred rate, which is the top. I'm sorry, the standard rate, which is at the top, and the preferred rate here is underneath. So we'll touch on that in a moment. So a couple of things to point out here. If your customer's buying a policy that's 12 months or less, they can choose single pay, which is right here. And they're going to drop down and click single pay. And that knocks 20% off of the rate. Just remember, it's only for policies 12 months or less. You can't do single pay for multi-year policies yet. Here in the middle, you'll notice that the default policy term length is 12 months. So if you didn't want 12 months, you would select something less. Like maybe this person's like in a waiting period for group benefits and they only needed 3 months. So don't forget to change it to 3 months. But also, if you forget to change it, our short-term medical is still a month-to-month contract. So if you screwed it up and put somebody in for 12 months, they really only wanted 2 months or 3 months, they can always call and cancel when they no longer need it with advance notice. Okay, cool. So, so let's see. So, but if I pick 12 months with renewal available and I move over here, I can take a look at what the renewal options are. So I'll just briefly describe these to you. One renewal simply means I'm going to get a 2-year policy. I'm locked in for those 2 years, but I don't know what the second year premium is going to be. I'm just guaranteed to get a policy, but I don't know what the premium is going to be. If I pick 1 year with fixed premium, then my premium is going to be exactly the same for a 2-year period, and so forth and so on until you get up to 2 renewals, which would mean it's a 3-year policy with a fixed premium. We also have specific to Florida, where you see here it says 2 12-month terms. If I pick 2 12-month terms, that's going to give me a specific rate for the first 12 months and another rate for the second 12 months. So for this person, this fictitious person I'm quoting, I'll leave her at 2 12-month terms. As I scroll down, we'll just deal with preferred. So I click on the box that says preferred. I review these health questions with my customer. I go, yup, they're preferred. I check the preferred premium box. I click update. And now the system is just going to give me preferred rates. All right. So there's one thing that you need to know about preferred rates. Let me pick the plan I like. So I like this $10,000 deductible 100% plan. So when I click proceed preferred, it's going to create a cart on the right-hand side of my screen, which you can see here. There's some, just see. Okay. So when I expanded this, you can see that this person is going to pay $229 a month for the first 12 months. And in the second 12 months, the rate's going to be, hopefully you folks can see, it's very small on my screen, $251.96 for the second 12-month period. So again, we have the ability to let your customer know what the rate for multiple year policies is at the time they apply. Okay. All right. So that's pretty much how to quote the short-term medical. We have a couple other features here that I was hoping to show you. The second tab here is called Health on Exchange. And Health on Exchange, these are ACA plans, folks. So we actually make ACA plans available here on our website. They're sorted in price order. So oh, that's odd. Okay, I thought they were sorted in price order, but they're not. So this is for Florida. So if you're ACA appointed and CMS certified for Florida, you'll see these are all the plans that are available through the Affordable Care Act. And not only can you enroll these people here, but you can do the estimated subsidy here. And this is a direct enrollment. There is no redirect to healthcare.gov. So everything can be done here on our site. This is free, folks. And you might be saying, why in the heck do we even offer this? The reason that we offer this is so that you folks could enroll an ACA plan and then attach one of our dental plans, our fixed indemnity, our accident, or any one of these supplemental benefits. you could do all of that in one shot right here on our website. The only caveat is you must be appointed with the carrier, certified with CMS in order to get paid. All right. And then so I'll get just a little preview for you folks that can join me tomorrow. I go down here and I can select our richest dental plan, that $40.47 dental plan. I can add that to the package. The other thing that I like to do with the ACA is you could do, if you're trying to promote short-term medical, you could put in the household income, how many members in the household, and click update, and it'll spit out what their subsidy is. And you could, in a case where they don't get a full subsidy or they only get a partial subsidy, you could actually right here on our screen show your customer what the subsidy was going to be, and then start talking about short-term medical if it makes sense. So that's pretty much what I was hoping to show you folks today. I hope that some of you or all of you will carve out just a little bit of time for me tomorrow so we can talk about creating these beautiful circles of protection for the customer with these supplemental products. Phil, it looks like there's some chatted questions. Could we roll through them?
Absolutely, Phil. Great job. Thank you so much. We have a couple questions actually. So first of all, I'd like to point out something funny here. Philip Adams made a comment. There's a lot of Phils in this chat today.
Yes.
The Phil ratio is high today. Here for it. So a couple questions here. Let's start with Robin. Robin said, contracted with National General now. Do we need to contract with Allstate, or does the contract roll over?
Well, so it depends. So if you're not appointed under ACMG, you really need to request a transfer so that these folks, Phil and his team, can help you. But to answer the question directly, anybody who's currently appointed with us in our individual products section and was National General, you have access to all these products, including Medicare Supplement, which we're not here to talk about today, but we'll have a very competitive Med Supp in most states.
Wonderful. Yeah, Robin. So our team here at ACMG, we're happy to help with that. We can kind of help with that whole thing moving over. So yeah, we're happy to help with that, Robin. Joe asked, is this product available in New Mexico?
Oh, Joe. Good Joe with a good question.
Joe may have stumped you.
Yeah, that's not really part of my home territory, but I'm going to cheat. It should be on this sheet here. Where in the heck is New Mexico? Oh my gosh. All right, well, I'm not going to make you dizzy flipping between these. I don't even see it. Must be having a bad day. I don't see New Mexico on this list.
I do know, in my personal experience, New Mexico is not the most friendly state for private health.
Before we go, I'll find out. I don't want to make you dizzy scrolling through all my documents right this second, but I get you an answer.
Perfect. That'll work. Okay. Thank you so much there. Let's keep moving on through here. Tim asked, this sounds like an underwriting question. Maybe you'll know off the top of your head, Phil. If a male is 6'7", is in great shape, why would you not give him preferred if he was 260 pounds?
Because well, so the build chart for male is 300 pounds. So if you're over 300, we just can't take you. The 240 is for preferred. We don't care if you're 9 feet tall. I'm sorry to tell you, we just go based on the weight. It just makes it easier. But yeah, I'm sorry, they're either under 300 pounds for standard and under 240 for preferred.
Yeah. And Tim, that again, Phil and I, we're not the bad guys here. That's with the underwriting department.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question here. This is a good one. Does Allstate offer any products that cover mental health related issues, medication visits with specialists, etc.?
We don't have a product that covers mental nervous. If the condition isn't pre-existing, our short-term medical would certainly cover specialist visits.
Perfect. Let's see here. Okay. Someone asks, doesn't Allstate submit claims on behalf of the customer?
So the network's Aetna. If they're at an Aetna provider, the provider is going to submit the claim on behalf of the customer. If for some reason your customer is unlucky enough to not be able to find a network provider, typically the provider is going to submit the claim for the customer, but if they really truly won't or can't do it, if they go to allstatehealth.com, they can download a claim form, staple an itemized bill to it, and ship the claim in themselves.
Perfect. So a couple people are asking about the meeting tomorrow. So we're very excited about that. It's going to be a great meeting. So how do you join? So we are going to be sending out a link, but what I would do if I were you, just to make sure, because we have quite a few people that we send the link to, just to be certain, what I would do is I would email us. Okay. If you look in the chat, actually put it in there, but I'm going to throw it in there again, agent services at acmgsales.com. Okay, if you look at the chat, I threw our email in there, email us and let us know you want to make sure that you're included in that email list for the link tomorrow to join the presentation. So just email us. Otherwise, we are planning on sending out the invitation link, but just in case to secure your spot, just send us an email. We'll make sure you're on that list there. So that's how you'll join. 2 p.m. Remember, it's Eastern Standard Time. We always have people that are in Central Time or Mountain Time. They get confused. It's Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. So keep that in mind there. Moving
and
on.
Just Phil, one more plug for tomorrow. So if you're new, I'm literally going to be giving you, say these words to your customer to start the conversation. So I'll make it real easy for you. More importantly, real comfortable. The one thing we find with agents that haven't been in the habit of talking about supplemental products, the biggest sticking point is starting the conversation. Like, what do I actually say to the customer to get their mind thinking about these products? So I'm sure it'll be worth your time. I look forward to whoever can carve out time to be with us.
For sure. Awesome. Jean, let's see. Gina asks, can we see the slide again that has the decline conditions?
Yes. Once I find them. There we are. So that's half of them.
Okay, so if you want to take a screenshot, again, you go ahead and go to the next one, Phil.
Yeah, this one's just pregnancy, AIDS, HIV, and recommended surgery, and then this is the big Megillah right here. The good news is that most people, well, I shouldn't say that. I would just say that there's 4 health history questions. You check them, no, it's instant issue. If you had any of these conditions in the last 5 years, short-term medical's probably not a good fit. Not that you asked me, I'm just telling.
Perfect. Okay. So let's continue moving on here. Here we go. Tim asks, isn't there a small group product as well?
Yes. So we do have a small group level funded medical in most states. It's super competitive. You can get information through ACMG, and I mean, just a short plug. It's 30% under whatever that group's paying now in return for answering health history questions and not posing a risk to the insurance company making money. So generally healthy groups, you knock off 30% under what you're paying. If you have a great year and you don't use it much in your first year, you actually get part of the premium is refunded back to the employer. And if you have a terrible unexpected year with a lot of claims, we'll blast them with a giant rate increase, and they'll go back to where they came from, no worse for the wear. So it's a no-brainer, the group medical.
Exactly. And then again, if to get appointed with all that, just reach out to us at ACMG. In fact, for all commission, all contracting questions, it's really simple. You just got to email us. I'm going to put that in the chat right now. It's agent services at acmgsales.com. you will get you contracted. We'll send you commission schedules. We do offer top contracts, everything from FMO, MGA, GA, senior agent, whatever your business looks like. We do have the contract to get you set up there. So we have a couple more questions. Let's keep them going here. Okay. Somebody asked this to me directly. Do brokers need to be appointed with all the companies with your agency in order to get access to your platform? No, you do not. To answer that, you do not have to be appointed with. Now, ACMG does have hundreds of carriers in our portfolio, all top contracts available. But to answer your question, no, you do not have to contract with every single one of our carriers. You can pick and choose. What do you want in your portfolio? Reach out to us. We'll tailor it to what you want to do. And then we'll make sure we get you set up with the best contract possible. So that answers that question. Here we go. This is a great question. Did the fixed indemnity cover pre-existing?
No. Well, let me rephrase that. It's excluded for the first 12 months.
First 12 months. So that answers your question there. Bob asked a good question. Let's look at this. Did you mention how to quote time periods within open enrollment for ACA?
So the ACA enrollment is first of the month only. Matter of fact, yeah, see right here where it says health on exchange. So your effective dates, well, you can't even get November 1st. It's January 1st. So I hope I'm answering the question.
Yes, I think
Okay.
that will be good there.
Okay. Even though it looks like you can get a whole bunch of different effective dates, it's all predicated on what's mandated by the ACA, which is January 1st.
Correct. That is correct. For anyone that's jumped on or you want to replay, you can email us if you like, but the easiest way to look at this recording and any other recording is going to be our YouTube page. So if you go onto YouTube and you type in American Central Marketing Group, you're going to find this recording as soon as we upload it, and you'll find all of our other recordings. So if you want to get a replay of this, just go there. Otherwise, we encourage you to jump on tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, part 2. You can get to see all of our favorite person ever, Phil, do part 2's presentation. So
it's definitely worth your time. Hey, Phil, real quick, and I'll shut my screen down. We do have a bonus program running for short-term medical during open enrollment. If it's all based on effective dates, so any short-term medical that you submit between for a November 1st date all the way through a January 15th effective date, we'll pay out these bonuses you see here. You do have to write a minimum of 10 in order to achieve the bonus, and then it goes back to app number 1. I will send this over to Phil, and you can send it to the group. The only thing you need to know is this, in this little writing down here, it's only in the states that you see here on page 2. But we've got the big ones in there: Florida, Texas, South Carolina. Okay, and so let me stop sharing my screen. You maybe, Phil, you can pull up your ACMG screen there. Let me stop sharing. There we go.
perfect. Yeah, we can. Our Rob will probably have to do that over there. I don't have access to my screen.
Right now. Wait a minute. I was going to look up the New Mexico answer. So just bear with me one second. I promise. I'll be done.
And as you look that up, Phil, we have one more. We'll take this as our last question.
Okay.
Do small group plans? I know this isn't necessarily your department. Do they cover pre-existing conditions?
They do. They kind of have to. And just so you know, just so I'm not like making this stuff up, I came from the group division, and before I got this job, I was a group medical broker. And the level funding, I mean, the real benefit to small group level funding is the average agent doesn't want to have to learn how to do it. They keep trotting out the same guarantee issue renewals every year with the customer. So it's what I would call an incumbent agent unhorser product, because you can walk around town and it's a real simple line with the employer. Hey, when your current broker told you could save 30% going level funded, what'd you say? And 99% of the time, the employer is going to say, well, our current broker never mentioned that. And guess what happens after that? The incumbent broker is dead because I'm going to replace him or her. All right, so New Mexico. Holy cow. We do not have the short-term medical in New Mexico, but we do have a great no waiting period. Oh, wait a minute.
In general, New Mexico is a tough state for
You know what? I never knew this. We have nothing. I'm so sorry, folks. I have nothing in New Mexico. I'm so sorry.
So no worries. It's part of it. You know, we can't help what a DOI approves and doesn't approve.
Good question, though.
Yes, great question. So that's all the questions there. So again, I'm going to throw this in one more time, everybody. If to make it simple, all commissions, all getting appointed, contracting, to make sure you're on this Zoom link for tomorrow, just do us a favor, email us at agentservices@acmgsales.com. I threw that email in the chat. That's how you're going to get contracts, appointments, commissions, and then just to ensure you're on our email list for part 2 tomorrow. So Phil, thank you. Amazing presentation. As always, thank you for your time, my friend. We appreciate you and the team over at Allstate. Everyone, thank you for joining our meeting today. Hopefully you got a lot of value out of this, and we're looking forward to part 2 tomorrow. So have a successful day. We'll see you all tomorrow. Take care, everybody.